I can't number. How many transfers I could do to show you that I love you? How many things I could do to show you that I love you? Why you gonna do from like say no say?
The Power Breakfast, 6 to 10 a.m.
Right here on your one and only station.
Power FM.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of Power FM or the presenter.
Voice of the People is a dynamic and interactive radio phoning show that gives listeners a platform to voice their opinions on current affairs, social issues, and community concerns. With engaging discussions, expert insights, real-time audience participation. Voice of the People.
Today on Voice of the People, we will discuss several pressing national issues such as the June 2025 Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket, also known as the BNNB. We were also talking about illegal mining activities, Bill 7, and other important topics that affect our nation. And our guest today in studio is Mr. Mabin Kabwe, who's the chairman of the National Restoration Party, also known as NAREP. You too can be part of the conversation. Do remember that you can actually interact with us. You can call us up on 0955 997 997. But without further much ado, if I should say, welcome to the show, Mr. Mabin. How are you doing today?
Thank you so very much, and it's good to be here once again.
That is fantastic.
Sure.
And now getting into it, how exactly is NAREP faring so far? Have you been able to resolve any of the internal challenges and disputes within the party that we've been hearing about?
All right. Once again, I'm humbled that you have given me this opportunity just to share with the people out there. NAREP so far is doing good. We managed to calm the storm. So we are together. We are doing what we are supposed to be doing as a party, mobilizing, reaching out to the people, explaining a few things, and so far so good. Yeah.
All right. Now, when we talk about Bill 7, which has been on everybody's lips, and the 50+1, what is your stance as NAREP?
I think last time that I came here, there is one statement that I mentioned. I think it was the last statement. I said, with regards to this proposed constitution amendment, I feel there will come a time when the executive, through the president, will intervene. And you never know, he will surprise you, he will put a stop to it. And as NAREP, we've been vindicated that whatever we anticipated, it has just happened like that. So now, when you talk about Bill 7, as NAREP, we feel refining the constitution should not be a one-day program, a one-year program, but it has to be a continuous process. Because when you look at our laws, in particular the constitution, I think there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed. A lot, actually. If not everything, but a lot. So, in that regard, we can't put a complete stop to refining our constitution. It has to be a work in progress. We have to continue making sure that we address those so-called lacunas and come up with a simple but well-defining document.
Okay, so are you saying that you are still standing on the fact that you do not agree with it, or you are agreeing with the fact that it can pass on?
Well, proceeding with it, as NAREP, we have always said no.
Okay.
We have said no, and we still say no. It should not proceed, in the sense that when you look at the time frame, from now and the next election, I think we don't have much time to start, tampering with the constitution. We don't have time.
Well, when we date back to 1991, when we date back to 2019 or 2016,
2016,
rather,
yes.
Yes, when we date back to those dates, most of the governments running, who were running the country by then, most political parties, did amend the constitution in the year of elections or a few months before the elections. So what is something that the current government has done differently right now?
Well, I'll answer your question in this context. If at all mistakes have been made in the past by the previous regimes or governments, should we continue doing the same thing? Look at the speculation that surrounded Bill 10 previously when PF was in government. You know, it raised a lot of issues. People complained to the extent of making allegations that perhaps there is something that they want to sneak in to favor them during an election. So if the situation then was bad, it should be bad even this time around. And as a country that want to progress, we just have to, you know, do away from such bad things, bad timing and the likes. If they amended during a year of election, the previous governments, because we are a progressive country, we have to learn from the past mistakes and move forward and avoid doing the same thing.
We did have one of the MPs for Nimba, the Nimba MP rather, did come to on this show, and he did say that it is a game changer for other parts of Zambia outside Lusaka, and it's been criticized heavily because we are looking at it in the context of just it being for Lusaka.
I'm not here to disregard his opinion with regards to the proposed amendment constitution, but let me give my view. And the view of NARP is that as much as, yes, some of the contents of the proposed amendments were good, but they shouldn't have been married to the whole process of amending the constitution. Last evening I was just going through our Republican constitution,
yes,
where I focused much on the role of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. One of the roles or the mandates of the Electoral Commission of Zambia is to review the boundaries of the constituencies and the wards. And, you know, it does not, you know, marry that to the overhaul, you know, amendment of the constitution. The delimitation process, I know a lot of people, they are making reference to the delimitation process. Delimitation process can even be done in isolation without tampering with the whole constitution. So for me, if one who base his argument or argument based on the fact that delimitation is part of the proposed amendment, you know, clauses, then I feel bad because that is specified in the constitution that in a period of 10 years, the Electoral Commission of Zambia shall review the boundaries of constituencies and wards. So that can be done even without, you know, tying it to the whole amendment, proposed amendment to the constitution. So then secondly,
yes,
there are issues that people are talking about giving, or rather the proposed amendment. Those that are defending it, they are saying again, no, this is an opportunity for the so-called marginalized, you know, to also be part of governance by giving them slots in parliament. Already there are issues to do with the implementation of the physically challenged, you know, people in governance with the current laws that are there. You know, the rights activists, they still complain that the laws have not been fully implemented. How then is it that when you have this, you so-called a marginalized bill and the likes, then there will be enough time for implementation? Again, as NAREP, we are saying no. You know, we can do better. For us as National Restoration Party, our position is very clear when it comes to that issue. Number one, even if the government were to come up with deliberate policies through the amendments that we should have disabled or differently abled people in a government through nominations to parliament, it should start with the individual political parties, because adoption happens not at national level, it happens at political party levels. If I may ask our colleagues out there, who are our fellow alliance members in the UPND government, how many slots did they allocate to the differently abled people? How many slots did they allocate even to the youths? How many slots did they allocate even to the women? So it is hypocritical for someone to hide, good things in bad things. So we don't want that. If need be, individual political parties must take a lead by crafting policies within their various political parties that will make sure that people that are differently abled are also given, slots, without even putting stiff competition, even for women. I've always said this. Can we make our political parties attractive to the young ones, to the women, to the differently abled people? When we do that and we get them on board, then we'll have no problems with them being part of governance.
Now, what would you say, within your opinion, are the necessary reforms that are needed to ensure that next year as we go to the polls, that we've actually got fair, we've got transparent elections?
Well, it all comes back to electoral management and many other things. You can talk about having a fair, a transparent and inclusive election. It actually calls for a lot of things. We can talk about policing, we can talk about campaign periods and how slots are allocated, we can talk about freedom of speech with regards to people. Are they going to have the freedom to express themselves through various media platforms? All those things. So what I can say is that we don't have enough time for us to implement all these things to make sure that we have a free, fair and inclusive elections. But we've got a sufficient laws, to guarantee a favorable environment in which to have the elections conducted.
What sufficient laws might that be?
Well, we've got the electoral code of conduct, and there is always need for consensus when it comes to doing certain things like printing of ballot papers, verification process, all those things. I think they are fair enough to guarantee, on average, a good environment of holding elections.
Let me backtrack on what you said. According to the Zambian constitution, it does say that in 10 years, the ECZ is supposed to
review
the delimitation. Yes, the delimitation process. Now that the current government, the United Party for National Development, has done it, they are just doing what the ECZ was supposed to do, and they were supposed to actually do it 10 years ago, because it has overhauled now to 2025. Still, they are doing it. Are you against the idea of them doing it, or are you against the idea of them implementing the same thing the ECZ could have done?
Exactly. That's our concern as NAREP, is that this thing should have been done independently. And if we were, this government of which we are part of as NAREP, was to be fair enough, they shouldn't have, put this whole thing to be part of the a constitution amendment process. Like I said earlier, this thing can still be done in isolation. Yes. So the only mistake that is there, that has just brought everything to a standstill, with regards to the good thing of delimitation is that it has been coined together with the reviewing of the constitution, which Zambians are not comfortable with. They are saying, no. Why the hurry? And the question is, why should it be a part of this whole thing when it can be done on its own by ECZ?
But Mr. Mabin, it was supposed to be done 10 years ago. 10 years, we have overhauled to 2025. If we calculate 2016 to 10 plus 10 years, I think we are way past that. It was supposed to be done by the ECZ either way. So what are you here debating about?
What I'm saying is that we've missed an opportunity of having it implemented on its own.
So when should we do it?
I'm sure after this election, they say better be late than never. After the coming election, then there will be enough time, one, to do delimitation, because delimitation is not just done maybe to people who speculate that maybe this sitting government wants to gain advantage by having as many constituencies as possible, divided, as many nominated members of parliament. Already there is this, whole confusion of people saying, no, he wants to usurp power, the executive wants to have control by nominating as many members of parliament as possible. When maybe in actual sense, it is just being done in good faith, but the timing, Fortress, the timing is what Zambian people are not comfortable with. And the governance is about people, and any good leader must listen to the people. And I'm so happy and excited that we've got a listening president who has actually shown that. He has demonstrated by giving an executive order that this proposed amendment must be, put to a halt. Yes. All
right. This is Voice of the People right here on the Power Breakfast. You can come through. The numbers are 0979 192 485 or 0955 997 997. We are joined in the studio by Mr. Mabin Kabwe, who is the chairman of the National Restoration Party, NAREP.
And well, now pivoting on to something that every single person is feeling at the moment, which is the Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket, also known as the BNNB. So the report shows that Zambian households continue to face rising living costs, with Nsaka seeing a sharp increase of 962 kwacha, 81 ngwe since January. Charcoal prices have also surged due to high demand and reduced supply, while food prices for items like chicken and tomatoes also rose. Regional disparities still do persist, with urban areas more affected than rural towns. Despite the slight inflation easing, many Zambians are still struggling to afford basic needs. Now, Mr. Kabwe, how do you assess the current state of the Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket of June 2025? And are really the prices becoming, I would say, affordable for the ordinary man and women out there?
Well, it's a very broad question and a little bit tricky, because I can't speak on behalf of each and every citizen of this great nation, because each one has got his or her own way of earning a living. So depending on what one is doing, there are people out there that are saying, yes, things are a bit better now. Someone was talking about the stability of the kwacha and the reduction in terms of petroleum, petrol and other product. But historically, in Zambia, it has never happened where when there is stability in the kwacha, you see the cost of living dropping. It has never happened. Yes.
But how is it that so, in the sense that when we do see that we're not faring quite great, we see that effect within the prices of our commodities?
But you see, I'll give you a very simple example. Look at the bus fares. People, we're still paying the same bus fares, despite the fact that, yes, the price of petrol and diesel have been reduced to some extent. The kwacha has stabilized, but we are still paying the same bus fares. And where transportation is not worked on, you don't expect the prices of commodities to go down, because everything that we can talk about books, we can talk about cooking oil, we can talk about, groceries, they are all at some point transported from one point to the other. So as long as that is not addressed, we shouldn't expect significant reduction in terms of a cost of living for ordinary Zambians. And this now calls for one thing. I laughed when one old man was actually describing our economy. He said Zambia suffers from what he called economic stupidity. In the sense that, for lack of a better term, I came to understand when he explained in details, which briefly I can talk about. Look, if we want to address our economic challenges as a country, let's not massage, Okay. Let's not just treat the symptoms. Let's get down to the root cause of our economic woes. Look, if I'm told to add 2 floors on this building of Power Media House, number one, I'll ask for a blueprint, the plan to see the foundation. How deep is it? How strong is it? Can it hold 2 more floors? Then I'll do a good job. Now, this has never happened with our country. When UNIP lost power, everything to do with UNIP was rubbished, and we had to start all over again. Meanwhile, someone wanted to build a strong economy without considering the foundation. Those things that were, started and built by the UNIP government, a good number of them were rubbish. Even things that were doing good. I'll give you one example. What was wrong with Mansa batteries? And today, without shame, we are importing batteries. Is it not a shame? This is where we always miss it. Let's begin to build on our predecessors' achievements. Then we'll move forward as a country. Here is the situation. I know you get to it, but let me preempt. There is the issue of illegal mining.
Yes.
The issue of people dying unnecessarily. Those deaths could have been avoided had we done the right thing at the right time.
So what is the right thing at the right time?
This is our position as National Restoration Party. For your own information, people out there, we have written a letter, an open letter to the President. Our National Youth Chairperson, Thomas Kayola, has written a letter, an open letter to the President as NAREP, to just highlight our position with regards to the happenings in Mufumbwe. That situation was totally avoidable. Number one, the job of the National Intelligence and Security Services is to have all the information, whatever is happening in all corners of this country, they are supposed to know. Mm-hmm. Shekaina, before you know that there is gold in Mufumbwe, even at your place where you stay, before you know that you've got some valued minerals, they are supposed to know. And that information is supposed to be given to the President. Now, how best can we approach this issue? Number one, can we involve the local people? It is very sad and it's disheartening that at your place, where you live, somebody else comes and benefit from your place.
Sorry to cut you off short. So you have given an example to say there is, you might have gold in your house,
yes,
right? Or you might have minerals.
Yes.
Now you don't have the qualifications to mine those minerals.
I'm coming there. Mm-hmm. This is where the problem is. Number one, why do we have the Ministry of Mine? Why do we have the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises? What are they doing? When that information, when they receive that there are minerals in such and particular area, mm-hmm, and like piling up money with the citizen economic empowerment, let them visit those places and normalize the situation. Mm-hmm. Artisanal mining must be encouraged, but it should not call for importation of people from Nsaka or people from outside the country to come and mine our gold. No, let us put those people in clusters. Let us put them in cooperatives and formalize them, legalize their activities, train them, teach them, provide the basic equipments that is needed for them to do mining. Involve the chiefs. The chiefs are there. The chiefs are there. They know the people. If those people that caused confusion, that had a scuffle with the police, if truly they were local people, they could have not done what they did, because they know each other. They would just shout. Even the village headmen, elders would just go there and shout, "Hey, Iwakabwe, we know where you are coming from. Can you stop what you are doing? Drop that stone that you want to throw at an innocent police officer," and that will be managed. So number one, let's get serious as a government. Let us identify all the areas. Recently it was in Central Province. And we can't learn. The problem is we can't learn. And this is a time bomb. If the government is not going to be serious with this issue and come up with proper plans and policies to manage these issues of minerals here, minerals there, and they just leave things hanging, it's a time bomb. What happened in Mufungwe is unnecessary. And let me take this opportunity as NAREP, on behalf of the party, we offer our sincere condolences to the bereaved families, and we say, may the souls of our departed brothers and sisters rest in the eternal peace of God. It was not necessary. Such deaths could have been avoided had the government agencies that are involved been doing the right thing. Sometimes I ask, what is ZCCM Investment Holding doing? We have trained so many miners, so many people that are in mining engineering, such that we cannot be allowing such things to be happening. Immediately the government hears there is that thing, they have information, let them constitute teams to go and put those people, sit down with them, identify those that are genuine, Don't import people from Nsaka or from China or from anywhere. No. Small-scale mining should be left to Zambians, but should be managed.
So, Mr. Kawe, the UPND Media Director, Mr. Max Mue, has rejected the notion that illegal mining should be tolerated merely because people need to eat. So the argument here is that the cost of living has become high, and these are people who have discovered that there are minerals at their disposal, and they have gone in to say we need to get those minerals because they belong to us as Zambians, without proper equipment, without proper knowledge on how they're supposed to mine those minerals, and that is why we have been seeing certain accidents happening. So what is your take on that? Because the argument here is people feel they are entitled to those minerals, and they are going in these mines without proper instruments to mine those minerals.
Yes. I'm not disagreeing with Comrade Asimwe. He's right. Illegal mining should not be tolerated, but there must be a deliberate policy to guide those people, to normalize, to legalize their activities. And the government has to be on top of things. You cannot just say, no, this is illegal, without providing the legal way of doing things. Let the government move in and start doing the right thing.
The legal way is by them getting licenses.
Licenses, exactly. But look, even when it comes to the issue of getting licenses, do you know that doing business in Zambia is very expensive?
How so?
It's very expensive. Ask me how long it takes for someone even to get a tax clearance sometimes. Way back, you are subjected to a lot of unnecessary things when you are just supposed to use your ID. Simple as that, and get that. Until we reduce on the procedures and processes of acquiring those papers, then we will continue to see what we are seeing today, and it is totally unnecessary as a country. And we are now in a global village. ICT is helping us. Let us shorten the procedures and processes of acquiring such licenses, and like making them so tedious. This is the result. And it is sad.
What would you suggest as NAREP should the government take direction to stop these people who might be enforcing themselves to say they are they own those minerals. It belongs to them.
If people claim ownership of those resources, there is a way of doing a verification. Those places are not just isolated places. There are chiefs there. There are village men there. Let the government, through various government agencies, visit those areas. Have a conversation with the leadership, the village headmen, the chiefs. They will help them even to, identify genuine people who should be encouraged to form cooperatives. And it should not just be rhetoric. Talking, this kind of government talking without implementing. It is something that is, making people, misbehave. The government, is time when they talk, let them implement. There is a book I'm reading, The Governance of China under Xi Jinping. They sat under the 19th Chinese Congress Party to define how they were going to create moderate, rich people. And by the way, if this country is to develop economically and be sustained, this is how best we should do.
Mr. Kawa, sorry, you have to hold that thought. We do have a caller on the line. Sorry to cut you off short. Hello, it's you to Power Breakfast. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
We are fine, thank you. How are you doing?
No, we are doing better. I'm doing that side.
All right.
Yeah. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, thank you. And how are you today?
Vashmagi on the line. Vashmagi with Nsaka here. Yeah.
Go ahead with the contribution.
Yeah, I think for me, following the conversation of this gentleman speaking very well for Dr. Kaunda, what he did the first day when he came, he created more industries in this country. We had the blankets company in Livingston. We had a Kawambati. We had Lova Zambia, ropes, Unrope, which was here making tires. All these companies went away after in MMD, when the MMD came into power. I don't know if they went after the high tax. Most of people, they went. Even if you talk about the mining, we are so strong. We had this mining which was strong. When you come from Nsaka, went to Copperbelt, it was a paradise. See that it is a paradise. Not today, it is only pollution. So the point is that to build a strong foundation of economy so that generation and generation should found that economy and increase on what others built. That's what we want. Instead of start building today. Then lastly, Zambia is a rich country. We have minerals everywhere. Where they step underground, there's the minerals. Now, what happened to it was very, very, very bad. But for me, the government should also engage those people properly and instead of sending police, but give them license, pay tax to the government so that the government can achieve. This is one of the issues that it is pessimism. Instead of giving Chinese, taking away our minerals and only rich themselves, we want our people to reach themselves instead of wallowing in poverty. Engage nicely, they pay tax, form a cooperative. The way he's talking, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bashimagi. Thank you very much for coming through. And you did also raise a point that is about government issuing artisanal licenses, which they have. Over 1,000 artisanal licenses have been issued to youths. That is according to the Mines Minister, Mr. Paul Kabuswe, who has clarified that what the government does not support are unconventional mining practices that endanger the lives of miners. So,
Let me respond to Bashmagi. Bashmagi has actually put it right. Earlier on, I used a very, one would call it a bad language, where I said we suffer from economic stupidity. That is lack of building on the foundation laid by the previous governments. It's very important. If we just want to develop, let us not rubbish everything that the previous regime has done. Let's pick the positives and build on them. Bashmagi, thank you so very much. And now, you've asked about, you've talked about the Mines Minister, Honorable Kabuswe, talking about issuing licenses. How many of those licenses that have been issued to the people that have shown interest in doing mining? You know, this has always been a problem. Look at what happened during the PF, where they went on to buy fuel tankers and buses and gave to the wrong people that have not shown interest in, and whatsoever, they have no experience with that. You know, just because someone is closer to ABCD and he hears there is this thing, and then he goes and get an artisanal or a mining license. It doesn't work like that. The best thing that can be done is to go to those areas, sit down with the chiefs and the local people where minerals are, get to know the people that are claiming to be owners of the land. Those are the right people that should be given licenses because they've got land. That is their area. Train them there. Provide equipment. You know, you can't just say, no, we've issued 1,000 licenses. If those 1,000 licenses, they are genuine, why are we still having such kind of skirmishes in Mufumbwe Central Province? You see, the best model to do is Minister of Mine, Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises. They should now collaborate and go around the country. They know where minerals are. Before bad things happen, let them sit down with the local people and begin to legalize them, begin to train them. That's the best way. We've heard this story now and again. No, we have done this. No, we have done that. But still, we see confusion erupting in areas. We don't want that. We want the government to be on top of things. They know they've got the information. They even know next. Another area which made me feel bad, I was in Mapatizia, where there is lithium. Something that could have given these people of Mapatizia and Southern Province an income generating activity. Do you know what they have done? They have come to soldiers there. Instead of going there and provide training to those people, provide equipment, give them in form of loans, so that when they do mining, even just for a year, those people could be rich. And if people think they can lead this country, a country of poor citizens, and they feel they will make the economy strong, they are wrong. America is strong economically because it has got citizens that are economically independent and strong. This China realized that for China to be strong, the economy must be controlled by the private sector. How? By having as many billionaires, citizens as possible. And China now has come up with a deliberate policy. After 10 years, they are saying they have to make sure they produce not less than 25 billionaires. In dollars, Zambia cannot be strong. Zambia will never be strong as long as leaders are scared of having rich citizens. We need billionaires in Zambia if this economy is to be strong. You can talk about, no, we have done this, we have doubled what, we have restructured the debt, but as long as you have poor citizens, the country will never be rich. The country cannot be rich when it has got rich citizens who own multi-billion businesses.
This is Voice of the People. You can be part of the conversation. The phone lines are open. The numbers are 0979-192-485 or 0955-997-997. That's 0979-192-485 or 0955-997-997. We are joined in the studio by Mr. Mabin Kabwe, who is the chairman of the National Restoration Party, known as NAREP.
And now, Mr. Kawe, what would you say is your perspective on what exactly or what policies we need to ensure we implement so that we get to a position that China has, whereby we at least within 10 years we've got billionaires within the nation, born and bred in Zambia?
Yes. Let us be proud when we see citizens are becoming rich. Of course, in a straight way. Not in a dubious way, but in a proper way. And let us even create deliberate policies. Look, this government, the UPND government, of which NAREP is part of, has got a golden opportunity in a lifetime of doing just that. These minerals that are being reported here and there, to this government, it is a very good opportunity for them to produce millionaires and billionaires in terms of dollars. Gold is not a cheap mineral. Look, we've got emeralds, but you'll be shocked to discover that it is controlled. 70% of emeralds is controlled by foreigners. You see? And you want to have a strong economy when the locals are poor. They are always employees. No employment creation. No. Let the local people be the owners of multi-million-dollar projects. The mines, the minerals that are being reported should be owned by Zambians.
Sorry to cut you off short, Mr. Kawa. We do have a caller on the line. Hello, with you to the Power Breakfast. Okay, please kindly make sure that you have turned off your radio set or your TV, as we are currently live on Bits TV channel 92 on Topstar. You can continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, so it's a very simple formula. We've written to the president and open letters through our national chairman. They are very simple things. The minerals that are being reported here and there, they give this government an opportunity just to create millionaires. You can imagine Central Province, Serenge area, we've heard of some gold in Senga, Mufumbwe, Kasenseli, and for your own information, according to the simple data that we've collected, Northern Province has got also huge deposits of gold. What are we waiting for as a government? Let's expedite the process. Let's come up with ways and policies of making sure that we have as many local people as millionaires as soon as possible, so that this economy is strong. Even if we do all the underground work, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, I still go back to that, and feel they are going to make our economy strong and stable, it is wrong. And to them, it is business as usual.
So you don't believe in us?
What are they going to be doing in Zambia economically independent like China? What are they going to do?
We have a caller on the line. Hello, with you to the Power Breakfast.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, who are we speaking to this morning?
Monica Daka.
All right, Monica, go ahead with the contribution. All right. Yes, go ahead.
So this is how it should be. We should have as many citizens as rich as possible. The economy of the country that we always look up to, like United States of America, is controlled by a significant percentage by private citizens. How? They are rich.
Okay, we understand that.
America has got the richest people on earth, just like Britain, China, and other countries. That is how you make your country strong. Look, even in a family, a family which has got people that are educated, that are financially independent, they have less problems than a family which has got one rich dad or one rich uncle.
So now, how can the government ensure that we do get to such families?
We have to sit down and plan. Not these documents they have been issuing. I have a good number of books. 7th National Development Plan. When you go through such documents and compare the achievements that is there, it's totally nothing. There is nothing.
So we're not following this document.
We need to come up with, a practical solutions to our problems, and very simple. These mines must be owned by Zambians, however small they are. That could be the beginning of making millionaires and eventually making our economy strong.
Yes, but now for those same, mines to be owned by Zambians, we do need foreign direct investment, right?
How?
So now having
no, for mining, God, tell me the foreign direct investment that we need.
So
no, tell me.
I'm telling you.
I'm coming from a background of just when I left my high school in the 90s, I'm coming from a mining background. I'm a copper, by the way.
Yes.
Imigodi ashupokuraninga ya copper. You need heavy equipment. Now, at this stage where we should start from somewhere.
Okay.
For instance, look at the people that are doing manganese mining. You know, what kind of equipment are they using, which you and I, if the government is there to help, can fail to facilitate and allow us to do that once they train us. How many mining engineers has Zambia trained of late? You know, we are just putting human resource to waste. There are some young men that were trained in Russia, you know. They have come back with very good papers, and practically when you involve them in consultants, you can see, but the government does not utilize such people. Who are we? What do we want as a country? Where is the problem? Who bewitched us? You know? I have mentioned, let the government go there, through the government agencies, in all the areas, Kasenseli, and like just saying, no, the government has repossessed Kasenseli and it is quiet. Who does that? Meanwhile, you go and kneel down before International Monetary Fund and World Bank to ask for money. The issue of Sujirite, it is water under bridge. We don't know what has happened. When it was so much talked about and a lot of people were, others arrested and implicated, now we hear, no, the quantity of Sujirite which was discovered, it was insignificant to go for commercial mining. If that is the case, give people that can do small-scale mining to mine Sujirite and sell and contribute to the coffers through taxes and create employment in some way or the other, so that you reduce on depending on foreign aid. You know, even buying medicine in hospitals now, we need to be helped by our donors. Where are they getting those? And some of these countries, the so-called donors, where we are getting aid from, they don't even have as much natural resources as we have. But they just have good managers and good policies who preside over the resources of their country. And hence they are able to have a few money even to contribute to us. We mean we can't do that as a country with the copper that we have. We can't. With the gold that we have, with the gemstones that we have, with the manganese that we have. We can. But the only thing is, leaders that are there, they are scared to have millionaires in a country. I don't know. For a long time, this has been a disease. They are not comfortable to have fellow Zambians being pronounced rich. They don't want that.
All right, Mr. Kabwe, as we'll be wrapping up, what's the final message to Zambians who are concerned about the future of the country amidst these pressing challenges that we have been facing?
My final message to beloved citizens is that let's be calm. A fire cannot quench fire. We need to calm down, and we need to, to be law-abiding citizens. After all, this is our country. But let us pray without ceasing. This country needs a lot of prayers, a lot. There are a lot of things that are happening. And if we are not going to pray and rededicate ourselves to God and work extra hard and commit all our good plans to God, I don't want to say much, but God is there. He has been there for us as a country, and He will see us through. And leaders come and leaders go. This country will never lack leaders to govern it. Narepum is here. Our principle is to stand with the people. Zambian people, be comforted that we'll be there to talk on your behalf where you cannot talk.
This has been Voice of the People right here on the Power Breakfast. You can catch us on Bits TV, channel 92 on Topstar. And also, we are live on Facebook. That is Power FM Zambia. And you can also come through. That is by listening in to Power FM 91.3. And you can also stream us live on any streaming platform, whether you're using Android or iOS. That is via the TuneIn app. This is Voice of the People. The Power Breakfast continues.
Voice of the People is a dynamic and interactive